Hello there YouTube. I thought I'd do a little experiment testing my memory, and I thought I'd copy the Workbench set from ADF onto my newly formatted SD card on the SCSI to SD, or SD to SCSI. Now the first problem is I can't find all my Workbench disks, so I need to make ADF copies, or acquire ADF copies, which I have. I have them on a Gotek, which is there. It is DF2 in this machine. That is the extras disk. If I put disk 2 in, the extras should change, I think. Will it change or will it not? Will anything change? Bum, bum, bum. Will it do anything? No. Come on then. That's not extras, that is... what is that? Fonts, I think. Okay. So if I execute this command, it should copy the whole of DF2 onto my system disk, which is effectively the C drive in PC terms. So, yeah, okay. So it's copying the fonts, not quite sure where it's copying fonts to. It's creating some directories. I suspect it's scattering fonts all over my system drive. But I can tidy up later. What I'm more interested in doing is getting all the Workbench disks into my system on the A2000, simply because when I install stuff now I get all kinds of strange errors. Can't find this, can't open this directory, can't do that, can't do the other. So I thought if I copy all the Workbench disks on to my drive, I'm not interested in using classic Workbench at the moment. I will do later, but at the moment it doesn't matter. I was more interested in seeing whether it copies properly. It's been a few years since I've done this, so I've actually had to look up how to use the copy command because I've forgotten. No shame, it's been a few years. So that's that disk, whatever that was. Fonts, I would imagine. So if I change to disk 3, unfortunately it doesn't update the disk label. So if we operate the same command, or execute the same command, this will be, what will this be? This will be the storage disk, I should think. I would imagine it is, I don't know. But if I open my system drawer on the Amiga, it's pretty empty. Or it was pretty empty. It should be back up to full capacity when I finish doing this. I'm trying to remember what discs, how many discs Workbench has. Is it 5 or 6? Don't remember. My first Amiga, 1.2, only had 3 discs. It had Workbench, extras I think, and I might have had 2, and a welcome disc. Was it welcome? I had a picture of, what did I have a picture of? Something like new users or something, I can't remember now. What was it? First time, first. Oh, I'm intrigued now. What was it? Probably got a copy of it somewhere. But anyway, yeah, Workbench 3.1 was right at the end of Commodore's era, just as the company was collapsing. That's finished, I think. So if I select disk 4 now, execute my command again, let's finish messing about. This is, what is it? This will be locale. Not quite sure why I need that, but there you go. Turbo calc. Francais, Italiano, Norsk, Portuguese, Dansk, Deutsch. My God, I could have been a linguist. Install a catalogue. Oh, something else I need to put on the installer. Although I might have done it actually. The Gotek drive, for people who don't know what it is, I'm sure everybody does who's watching my particularly rubbish videos. The Gotek drive is a floppy disk emulator for PC that emulates 1.44 megabyte disks. Some clever chap, whose name escapes me, French chap I think he is, he's written a new firmware for the Gotek. So you can do a little bit of soldering, put a header on it, flash his new firmware onto this thing, and it changes it from PC compatibility to Amiga compatibility. So then you can stick your USB stick in there and load ADFs, which is pretty much what all Amiga owners have wanted to do for many years. The HSCX floppy emulator, don't like that very much. It encourages people to cut big holes in their Amiga cases, which I'm afraid is a bit of a no-no now. The Amiga is becoming more and more expensive as it becomes older. It's certainly not rarer, but it's certainly older. So cutting holes in it is really not something you should be doing. Extras as an error. Disk 5, I think this is probably Workbench anyway. It hasn't got a read-write error at all, don't think nonsense. I'm probably too rampant with my clickage. Good old Amiga. Alright, enough off. Right, system should have, there we go, it's got a few more things on it. Try and clean that up. How do you clean it up? Clean up! Do I have a full preferences? I do, I have a full preferences now. There was nothing in there before. Not that it can do a great deal, but what else is missing? Oh yeah, tools. ECS PAL. It's got a RAM card, it's got a board and ROM that it doesn't know what it is. Is it a HD? Yes it is. Has it got RAM on it? Yes it does. That's alright then, that's good, all good. Tickety boo, lovely. What's missing? HD set. Oh, I must have copied the install disk. What's missing? No, it doesn't. There's something missing, I'm sure there is. Don't matter. Anyway, so that should give me. Oh yeah, oh, that was missing. Oof. But you put fonts everywhere. I knew you put fonts everywhere. Okay. Oop. Have to put that as a secret. Come on then. Who's got good eyes? Where's my fonts folder gone? There it is. Help. Ruby font. Oh, let's go clean up. What is that there? Should be in there, shouldn't it? Okay. Can I eject my disk? How do I eject it? Look at that, that's just send it crazy. I'll reboot that. It's a bit of a leisurely job with the SCSI to SD. I've just bought a MIDI interface for this as well, pretty cheap. It's the Daytel. You can see it there behind the ZX80. So I'll plug in my Roland MT32 at some point and we'll get some tunes on the go. That might be after Christmas though, I think. Well, might not, we'll see. Okay, I've got no errors and no problems. So the reason I wanted to do that, simply because when I run on my PC software, the communication stuff throws up an error. My Amiga PC thing. Let me guess, I can't find it now. What the bloody hell have I done with that? Must be in there. I've got the PC side, the Amiga side must be here. Or not, as the case may be. Unless it's this one solitary disk on the floor, which of course it is. So this should install now, Amiga PC. This is another disk that I made. Well, I copied, I didn't make it. Because the original disk that came with the cable, the parallel cable I bought, for some reason, what did it have? Workbench install was copied onto the Amiga. Could not create. Alright. I'm such a smart ass. What can't you create? Don't mess about with me. Get on with it. Storage. Oh, yeah, perhaps it's storage I didn't put on there. System storage. That's what's missing. I knew something was missing. There's no storage. Alright, we'll make one. We'll make a storage. Store. Age. Okay. Continue, dear boy, continue. There we go, no errors. So we've got a libraries folder, that's good. We've got a devs folder, really good. To L, yeah, we've got an L. Seen it. To help, yeah, if you like. Please insert help. Oh, do you know? Bloody Amigas are a pain in the ass. Right. I can see why the PC won. God. No, I can't. Help. What have I done with help? I'm sure there was a help. Yeah, skip that bit. C, yeah. We've got a C. And Mac files. I need to clean this floppy disk up. Do you want to run? Do you want to run the conversation? Do you want to run? Install it. Yeah, go on. Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. It's going to ask me what type of cable it is. Does it ask me what speed it can do? It is a parallel. I don't know if it's 4 or an 8, but I used 4 last time, so we'll say it's a 4. Maximum length of, yeah, I want full packets. Don't skimp on packets. Can the PC pretend? Yeah, by all means. Select in on an LED actually. Choose qualifiers. Enter key for Hotch. I don't care. Choose the number of errors to pop up requester. Number of errors to pop up error requester. Yeah, go on 3 will do. Task priority. Set to help. Yeah, don't know what that means. Yes, that sounds good. Installer complete. Well, that's absolutely splendid if you don't mind me saying so. Okay, so if we switch over to PC and we run something, that one, switch back over, eject the disk and reboot at great speed, or not as the case may be, we should have access to the PC now. And there's a couple of files I've copied onto the desktop of the PC which I'd like to drag over. Can't remember what they are. Oh yeah, I do know what they are. Add RAM from Aminet. I think that was it actually. I've been using Netscape on the PC side purely because it was one of the first browsers I ever used in Windows 95 days, I think. I think it was Netscape. I think it came free on a disk. Do you know what? I've forgotten how to work this. How do you work this? How do you work this? You work it by doing... Why haven't you got PC in there? Is it in storage? Storage. It is. So if we have PC, we'll plonk that into DOS drivers and run it. So it always starts. PC disk, there we go. Okay. That is marvellous. Is it going to work? It is. Right. So. Where's Windows? No, not so sure. Windows, Windows, Windows. We're far out there, Windows. Windows, okay. Do you know what? I'm not sure if I've unpacked it. While it's doing that, we'll seamlessly switch over. Did I add RAM? Right, open that. Actually, we'll pop it in Amiga, I think. What have I done with it? Where's it gone? There it is. Pop it in there. Let's get the ump on now. Too much, man. Too much. Too big. Too much data, man. Too much data. My plans for this. Yeah. Okay. My plans for this machine are to add RAM. There we go. Auto add RAM. Right. We'll put that in there. Will it go in there? Will it copy that? Come on, kiddo. Oh, it's copying. It's copying. It's copying. You keep going, son. Oh, there, you've done it. Flipping great. Chunk, 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 chunk. Oh, it's crashed the machine. That's alright. Yeah, what I wanted to use ADRAM for, I've got a couple of accelerators that don't auto-configure the RAM. The one I've got in now does configure the RAM. It's just killed the system. That's alright. I don't mind that too much. Oh, it's completely killed it. Oh well. Yeah, I need to. It's a what is it? A B5000 by Leisure something, software Leisure something, and it doesn't auto-configure the RAM. So with that program, it will add its RAM to it, and away it goes. That's good. I suspect it's trying to add RAM there that it's already allocated, so it's crash-ed. Okay. Anyway, that's all I wanted to show. The Gotek and installing the Amiga to PC disk. So that'll do for today, I think, unless I think of something else. Alright, thank you very much.